right, so going in from our build from the front, you'll notice we have our two CPU power supply connectors right there. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Cooler Master MWE Gold V2 1050 fully modular power supply. I did receive the sample from Cooler Master, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this power supply or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Take a look at the retail box and packaging. Everything looks great. We can learn more about this power supply from all sides of the box. We have a lot of tech specs, charts, and diagrams right there on the side. You'll also notice that it's 80+ gold certified, features a 10-year warranty, and 100% Japanese capacitors. It also has this little icon right here. You can see the little temperature gauge, STCM. So this features what they're calling smart thermal control system, where the fan won't spin up or even become active until 40% of output power. So that's really nice and neat too, helping it run a little bit quieter for you without affecting any of the performance. Also, you're probably wondering with this particular power supply, yes, it's fully ATX 3.0 supported and PCIe Gen 5, up to 600 watts of power to a GPU through a single cable with this power supply. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Looking for a secure and reliable way to access the internet? Look no further than ExpressVPN. Protect your personal information and browsing history from prying eyes. Act now and sign up for ExpressVPN today using our link in the description and receive an extra 3 months of service for free. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature featuring our user guide and manual right here. So pay attention to all the included safety instructions, troubleshooting, and warranty information. They also have all of your different power cable connector layouts here. So feel free to study that chart. Next, you'll see power supply output cable recommended installation guide here. Next, you'll see we have our 4 screws for the power supply, our power cable to our wall outlet and the unit itself. We have our big old bag of cords and power cables right here. And then lastly, we have the unit itself. Let's look at that in more detail. Here's a look at the unit up close. You'll see on this side, we have all of our branding here. Cooler Master MWE Gold 1050 V2 fully modular. A nice little graphic and layout there. Let's flip it over to the back side. You'll see all of our different cable connection options here. Moving right along to the other side, we have all of our tech specs for the unit with our model information. And then you'll notice on the back side, we have our toggle on and off switch, power cable connector option. We have Cooler Master's logo and branding there, our screw holes on the unit. Take a look at the top and the bottom right here. Cooler Master's logo and branding again with our cooling fan. Keep in mind, this fan won't spin right away. This will only spin under a certain load, so it's like 40% or something like that. Then this will start to spin up. So don't think your unit's defective or not working if the fan isn't spinning. That will only happen once your PC's under a certain load percentage. Then that will start to kick in to cool the unit. For those of you wondering, here's a quick look at our 12-pin 600-watt cable right here. Pay attention to the connectors. You'll see both of them there, clearly labeled 600 watts for us, which is nice. Now it's time to check out the power supply and its voltages here. Everything's looking great right out of the box before installation. 5, 12, and 3.3 respectively, 12 and 5 respectively, and then our PG score of 194. That's measured in milliseconds. Basically, you want this anywhere between 100 and 500, so everything looks great. Let's move right along, and we'll see our PCI right here, 11.9, and then we'll have our CPU coming in right at 12. So far, so good. Everything is working as you would expect. Now let's go ahead and get this installed. All right, the power supply has been installed. You'll see our finished PC right here. Let's look at it up close. All right, so going in from our build from the front, you'll notice we have our 2 CPU power supply connectors right there. Moving right along, we're going down here. You'll see our main motherboard connector, followed by our lovely GPU connector right there. Just one PCIe for our MSI 3060. On the back side, you'll see our wall power plugged in right there with our toggle on and off switch. And the back side gives us a glimpse of our 2 CPU power cables coming down and along the back side right there, connecting to the unit. Everything else is bundled in and tucked out of the way there and coming up this main run here, giving us our motherboard power and our PCIe power for our GPU. We also have our controller power as well for the included hub with this case. But everything's tucked away in there, out of sight, out of mind. I wanted to show you really quickly with the PC powered on and turned upside down, I might add, that the fan is not running. Again, this is as you can expect. It's not going to come on until a certain load or threshold is hit to start cooling the unit. So that's nice, giving us that silent operation right here, especially if you're just idling, you're doing some light computer work, you shouldn't expect to hear the fan at all. We already tested out the power supply before we built the PC, but now we're looking at it after we have everything up and running. We're using OCCT to test the power supply. You'll see our CPU's at 100% as well as our GPU at about 99%. No power errors or issues detected at all. Let's just quickly scroll through the chart here. Very helpful to see for our CPU all of our different values. Feel free to pause the screen if you want to look at something in particular. And then we have our motherboard and GPU down here. Everything's looking really nice. This power supply has plenty of headroom. You'll see with the blue charts, we're just using a couple 100 watts of power. So we got about 235 coming in, 175 going out. And again, this has 1,050 watts. So again, a lot of headroom, plenty of room to upgrade in the future if we ever see fit for a more powerful GPU, CPU, things like that. But everything's stable, running as you'd expect, no issues, no errors. Obviously, time will tell how long this unit holds up, but in my experience, I've used quite a few Cooler Master power supplies. I've had none of them fail so far. And good news is they have nice warranties on them, so hopefully by the time your warranty expires, you'll have long since already upgraded your PC, probably got a new power supply, things like that. So with the way technology changes, it should long outlive your build. So the only thing that's missing for us is the RTX 4090 GPU to see if we could mount that 600 watt cable. Unfortunately, we don't have one of those samples on hand, but hopefully that's long behind us. And when it comes to this particular power supply, this is really what you need to know. There are a couple other name brand competitors and alternatives out there that would come in a couple of bucks cheaper. And typically I'm the guy that always says, go with your wallet, right? Spend less, get the same thing. So for you, it's going to come down to what is most important to you. Is there a particular feature, look, aesthetic with this power supply? Maybe it's the warranty, maybe it's the 100% Japanese capacitors that you land on this one versus the competition. That's not a decision I can make. That's really only up to you. But I can speak to the stability and the performance of this power supply. So far, so good. Everything else is back in your court for you to make the best decision for your needs.